Question Day brought to you by Trantolo and Trantolo. 85 plus years of their family helping your family if you've been in some kind of accident and personally injured. So, offices in Hartford, Waterbury, Bridgeport, New Haven, Torrington. A couple of new ones in New York, Riverhead, and Melville. So get a hold of Trantolo and Trantolo. Dial 9-844-999-9999. With that loss to Northern Illinois, is Notre Dame season over?
No, not at all. That's why I love this year, man. I think this year is going to be so much fun throughout the year for more people than there have been in the past because of hope, Dibs. Because you can lose a game to anyone in the whole country. And then you run the table. You actually get better as the season goes on.
So people will forget this loss.
They might not forget the loss, but Notre Dame has a chance to really run the table and set themselves up with basically a couple of playoff games at the end of the year. One with their rival USC, who will be a pretty big contender in the Big Ten and already has a bunch of top 25. Well, they have one huge top 25 wins, but they'll have a bunch of top 25 wins when they get to that point. Also, they have Florida State, who has 2 losses. Imagine if Florida State and Notre Dame run the table until they meet up November 9th. Wouldn't that be something? That's kind of like a play-in game.
Can happen.
It can happen. Northern Illinois is good. What if Northern Illinois wins the MAC? And they are like held as a big or a loss that doesn't look as bad as it does here on September 9th.
I agree. But it also helps them by beating Notre Dame.
For
Huge
sure.
win.
For sure. That's what I would love to see if Northern Illinois runs the table and wins the MAC title, and then they get put in as they won't get put in as a top 4. I already know that. Notre Dame can't get in as a top 4 either. I already know that. But it would be nice to see NIU in the field of 12. I just love how we have opportunities for a lot of schools to lose a game and get better during the season and perhaps win a national championship despite a field goal block at the end of week 2 to ruin their season. Because it's just like, these schools lose. If this was BCS era and Notre Dame suffering a 16-14 final second loss, their season's over. No reason to go to their games after this. Their season's done. Not this year. No.
All right, so they go to Purdue this week. Purdue's no easy. We're just going to come right back and roll over somebody in Purdue.
Backyard.
Yeah. Right there in Lafayette, Indiana, in your neck of the woods.
Those are very 2 close schools.
How crazy are those Boilermaker fans going to be? Have the choo-choo train out in the parking lot.
Now that NIU beat them, yeah, for sure.
Right.
I think if they handled NIU, a lot of them Boilermaker and super nerds aren't going to be dressing up in their Boilermaker overalls.
They're going to be engineering something
right?
or other.
They'd stay
They're
in
smart.
Study hall instead of going to
school.
Ross Aid for the game. Yep. But I think that place is going to be rocking now that they know blood is in the water and that they could knock them out of possibly what we're talking about.
All right, so who came up with the overalls first? Indiana? Nebraska?
Well, their mascot wears overalls. He's the big.
That doesn't
Cornhusker
necessarily mean
dude.
they started that tradition.
Like where they came from.
Who started the overalls? Who started
Kurt,
the
there you go.
overalls?
Look that one up, Kurt. Do you have any idea of who started the overalls? I don't know.
I think it's interesting because I've seen UConn do it now. Other schools are starting to wear the overalls.
Well, the Boilermakers, if you notice on the logo.
Well, you're an engineer.
It's
you're
a train engineer.
But these are real engineers.
Right.
These are some really smart people.
I understand that. But
it's
again,
a great school.
Same with his name, Pete. Purdue Pete?
I don't know. Purdue Pete's got a weird head.
He wears
kind of freaks me
huge
out.
head.
Huge head.
Dorky overalls.
Joe Oliver.
So him and the Cornhusker guy both wear overalls. Am I missing more mascots with overalls?
Kurt's busy. He'll
sure
get that
there
answer
are
for
more
us,
mascots with overalls. But yeah, it's something about the I don't know. It's a good question, Dibs.
Thank you.
That's why you listen to the Rob Dibble Show. We get to the bottom of these football questions.
Well, I don't like people ripping it off other people's traditions.
Yeah, you're big on that.
I'm big on that. When I went to Washington, I was working there, and they started stealing the Sweet Caroline from the Red Sox. It was really upsetting to me. I was like, come up with your own seventh inning stretch.
The president's race is the hot dog race.
That's the hot dog race, right? But you know what? But Pittsburgh has the pierogies?
Yeah.
They have their own pierogi race.
Pierogi race.
Who started it first? I think it was Milwaukee. Everybody stole the race.
Yeah. Milwaukee started.
Yeah, Milwaukee started. So, again, I need to know this kind of stuff so I could be like, okay, they're the proper overall wearing dudes and women.
I really wish. So you guys just don't get it, man. Like, there's certain times in the world where you want to be because of what happened on the football weekend. And there is no other place I would rather be right now than right on the border of Michigan and Indiana, right on the north side. And to see all those Notre Dame people today. Where are you? Where's all my Michigan Wolverine national championship friends all today? Where are you? Texas killed them, handled them.
Oh, that was just
in the big house.
I have another question, though, real quick.
Football.
Nicest football stadium in the country.
As far as, like, nice people?
No, forget the people. Some people are always going to be a pain in the neck. But, I mean, Michigan's down in the bowl. Ohio State's amazing. Nebraska's amazing.
I thought Nebraska was intimidating seeing it on television for the first time, packed as
Texas A&M is amazing. Texas, I mean, there's some amazing places to play football now.
I like that place in Brazil, Sao Paulo. Put it on the list.
That's a soccer stadium, dude.
Oh, man. Place is beautiful.
I like some of the European stadiums.
That SoFi is cool to look at. That's a cool looking thing.
All right, let's see who we had starting with Thursday night football, then Friday and Brazil. We'll be right back with that on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell.
We're less than